Hi there, and thanks for joining me. Welcome back to the channel once again. Now then, today, the moment many of you have been waiting for, I'm sure. When is he going to do the Spitfire from Matchbox? That's one that people keep asking me. Postpone it for a while because I've got them in different boxes and I've got to locate them and all that kind of thing. But today, your wish comes true. So this is one of the... There's going to be a handful of them now. I think you'll see that I'll review that most of you will know very well. And I'm sure it brings back lots of memories, and it certainly does for me. And it's very interesting in this particular case because here we have the Matchbox Spitfire. Now I've got to be honest, this was not the artwork on this. I didn't think was one of the better ones. A little bit clunky somehow, and I don't think it's actually by Roy Oxley, which could explain a great deal. However, I have a confession to make because I have more than one of these. Surprise, surprise. We'll come to that later. This is the one you're probably familiar with. So here we have it. I'm just looking if there is any signature on it. There's no signature from the artist. I don't think it's Roy Oxley because there's something a bit awkward about the proportions of the artwork. It doesn't quite ring true, the shape of the aircraft. Bit clunky, shall we say. But it is the Spitfire Mk.IX, which was PK-2. So this comes after the, I think it's the Hawker Fury, I think it is. So this is one of the very first of the breed, so to speak. This one is a true 1973 original. I say 1973 original. Or is it? Because that's not really original, is it? As I mentioned in the Zero review I did a few days or weeks ago now, that one, if you remember, was really old. That was 1972, so that was a year earlier, and sure enough, here is a Spitfire that I prepared earlier. Now this one really is the original issue, and how can we tell? We can tell by two obvious means. One, it's got the lift off type box with no window on the back. Two, if you look very closely you can see that it says 1972. So that is the original issue. So let's have a look at this one, because this is really the genesis, the Spitfire that they brought out first. I think the PK-1 to 4 I think came out in these original boxes. It may have been all the PK aircraft range actually, which is 1 to 14 or something like that. And then they moved to the window box that most people are familiar with. But this is the real Mark I box. So here we have it. So on the side we've got artwork showing you what the plane model will look like if you do not use any paint. No painting is necessary. On the end you've got the artwork again. On the side you've got your offerings of the other products, and yes, the Hawker Fury was one I was trying to remember. That's PK-1. Then you've got the Focke-Wulf 190 PK-6. PK-3 is the Boeing P-42, which didn't sell very well in the UK, I've got to tell you. And then of course the Zero. Now all these definitely came out in 72, the early doors versions. Nice lid. You can't beat a proper box with a proper lid like that. Just comes off and it leaves us with the rest. Now you also recall on these boxes they have this rather nice side artwork on them where they show you things like the small parts painting guide. And you can see there you've got your how to paint your pilot, your undercarriage legs, spinner and prop, and the undercarriage itself. This side it tells you all about the stand and how it works, how it goes together. And at this end, bizarrely, we end up with a similar but not the same small parts painting guide. This time it's got the wing included and the wing cannons here. Not quite sure why they are different. That's very odd if you look at the two. See how different they are? Very odd. Anyway. Without further ado, let's look what's inside. And we have nice original 1972 purple instruction leaflet. You can't beat that. Blurb on the back in this very early format they had, which also lists the other models in the range. Then they have this hot hints, which again was very early doors, general hints about how to glue it and paint it, etc. And then you get straight into the build. So let's have a look at these instructions from the very genesis of the Matchbox aircraft range. So you've got your pilot and your seat going in. Then you've got your obviously sharp Mk.IX tail on this one, and you've got your spinner and prop going in You introduce your pilot and your seat straight into the fuselage. There's no detail or instruments or anything. Then you put on your tailplanes. Then we're into the wings construction, top and bottom's going together. Then you're introducing all the little parts like the canopy and your radio aerial and your exhaust stubs. And then, because it's a fairly straightforward kit, straight on to, oops, excuse me a second. And then we're straight on to the final assembly of all the parts underneath. So you've got the radiators, you've got your landing gear, cannons, intakes and tail wheel. And it says to you that you should, for the Polish version, you should remove the top of the tail fin to make it the rounded one. And it tells you also cleverly there how to angle your undercarriage. Make sure that they're the right pitch. Always tricky. And it says that the British Aircraft Corporation and the RAF Museum provided the technical information on the aircraft. So there you go. So there we have it. It talks about R.J. Mitchell and the Schneider Trophy win, of course. Then we've got these instructions, which I'm not going to peel back any more than they already are, but you can see they're in absolutely beautiful condition. I mean, these are just mint. You've got your Spitfire Mk.IX logo here that goes on the base, and I say you can actually see there that they are in lovely condition, but I won't peel them off. Those are beauties. And then we have our box of tricks. Let's have a little look, see what we got in here. So we've got brown sprue, we've got some bubble wrap to keep them all separate, and then we've got the green sprue, matchbox stand, and our canopy. I just love the original box. I just wish they'd stayed with that actually. I mean, I like the window boxes, but actually over time they don't age well because the windows come off, the glue fails. Anyway, here's the canopy first of all. Quite nice. Can't fault that really. Very nice, quite clear still. And we've got the ubiquitous Mk.I version of the Matchbox stand, which of course is really excellent, much missed. A lot of models should have that today, I think. And then we have this slightly odd design of sprue. It has a great big hole in the middle. Now the advantage of this, sorry, just zoom you out. The advantage of this strange design with the big hole in the middle is you can actually put your other parts like your stand and your canopy, you can put them in there. But let's have a closer look. So obviously we've got the main fuselage side with its sharp pointy fin tail. We've got our wheels and rear tail wheel as well. We've got this propeller. We have the spinner here and the pilot and the chin intake, and then on the other side we've got the other side of the fuselage. Obviously we've got the cannons, the exhaust stubs which are there, and we've got the other side of the fuselage, all in this lovely green, which I'm sure everyone will remember because that's never changed. I don't think they messed about with the colours on this. And then we've got the wings, the wing sprue. So we've got the bubble for the cannon, Hispano cannons that are inside the wing. We've got your seat and your tailplanes. Over here we've got the gear covers for the undercarriage legs, radiator intakes, and we've got the cannons. We've got the cannons twice, that can't be right. No, sorry, these are, looks like the cannons, it's actually the undercarriage legs. They look very spindly, don't they? Oh my goodness. And then on the other side we have got the underneath of the wing. And yeah, I mean, considering this is 1972 and it's 25p kit, I think it's quite nicely engraved actually. It's quite well done. Nothing really not to like there. And of course it says made in England. There's no date on this particular piece. I don't know if there's on the green one. Yes, there is. Yeah, interestingly, it says 1973. I don't know if you can make that out on the camera. Let's bring that in a bit and see if we can get it. It says 1973 there. So it was printed, all the stuff was printed up in 72. I'm guessing the end of 72, and then it was actually manufactured the kit in 73. So there we have it. All in all, rather nice. And they made millions of these. I mean, these were just pumped out like there's no tomorrow, really. And if I just pop that in there like that, see what I mean about how you can position it all. You can see it here. So I've managed to get that little stand in there, in the middle of that big open space, which works very nicely. Decals and instructions on the top. What a lovely little package that is, eh? I mean, what's not to like? And then we have our lid. Lid box goes on the top, like so. And there you have it. Also, as I've showed, I've got the more traditional window box here as well. Everything is the same within, apart from that they put the little painting guide back on the instructions as they do for the future from that point on. But we've got a couple of painting options. Interesting how the colours are sort of differ slightly. You might notice that on the camera. Not sure how obvious that is, but it looks a lot greener down below. It's kind of what is it? Different colours, isn't it? It's a sort of brown and grey, which is wrong. The one below is a bit more accurate. Perhaps that's why they changed it, because they thought that they needed to reprint it. The actual, to the eye, the scheme you have below looks a bit more accurate than this one, which is like a grey and green. This one looks more accurate with I'll start again. A brown and grey, I should say. That's what it looks like to me. This is green and grey, which is much more accurate looking. But there you have it. So that's the that's PK-2. So that's the Mk.IX Spitfire from Matchbox, originally from 72, as we saw. I'm not sure they actually came on the market till 73, but they were certainly printed up in 72. I do like the lift-off box. I think that's very special. A bit let down by its artwork, if I'm honest, because I don't think it's great on the front or the back, if I'm quite honest with you. But they did get better. But anyway, I'd give that sort of an 8 out of 10, maybe let's say 7.5. I think. The one or two things about the shape which are a little bit odd about it as well. You'll notice that something about the wings, something about the nose section I never quite thought was right. But anyway, let's say 8. I'll be generous. Hope you enjoyed the vid. Thanks a lot for watching. Please give us a thumbs up if you did, and please stay tuned because we've got more in the same vein coming up very soon. So in the meantime, thanks for watching. Take care of yourselves. Thanks a lot, and bye for now.